There are more than thousands of universities in United States of America, but most of them either have a very high tuition fees, which we can or cannot afford, or have very low return on investment, meaning if you end up getting into those universities, by the time you will graduate, you might not have any job, plus you will have thousands of dollars debt to pay off. But here are the top 8 most affordable universities with highest return of investment, and I have actually gone to some of these universities myself, visited the campus, talked to the students who are studying there, or have done podcasts with them where they have shared the reality of what it is like to study there and the future opportunities and ROI. And not only this, there were hundreds of students who actually did their entire masters for absolutely free from these universities and also end up graduating debt free with a little bit of savings. But the real question is how? So there is a way to completely waive off your entire tuition fees, and that's what these students figure out that way. I'll tell you more about it in the later part of the video, so stick around. But let's start with the number 1 university. The way we're going to do this is I'm going to tell you which program the university is well known for, what is the tuition fee range, if there are scholarships available, what will be the cost of living, on-campus job scenario, job opportunities of the companies people end up working for, and the real-world example of students who are studying there. Alright, so the first one is Purdue University. Now, the tuition fees is going to be anywhere between $43,000 to $50,000. And students have told me that generally everybody ends up getting an on-campus job and sometimes even multiple on-campus jobs. You can see that in my campus tour video of Purdue University. Now, cost of living is going to be around $800 to $1,500, which is also going to be the most common in every single university that I'm going to share. Some of them might have a slightly higher cost of living based on the lifestyle choices and the cities that these universities are in. But Purdue is in a super small town, so it's ideally going to be on the lower end. But again, if you end up choosing like a personal bedroom and your lifestyle is, and you end up eating outside a lot, then you might go into the higher end of the spectrum. Okay, now Purdue has multiple programs, but it is mainly known for 3 main programs: Masters of Engineering Management, Industrial Engineering, and Mechanical Engineering. Don't get me wrong, they are well known for other programs as well, but these are the programs where students I've spoken to have gotten the most ROI. I've actually done in the podcast with MS and marketing students with 3 of them, so you can hear their stories as well. In fact, for MEM program, they are claiming 100% internship rate, meaning every single student at some point of their master's program will end up getting an internship. And this data is until 2024. We don't know what is about to happen in 2025. Job market. Some of the students I met are working in Microsoft, Tesla, Walmart, even Apple and other big tech companies. So the crazy part is that even though it is in the super small town in West Lafayette in Indiana, students are working in Silicon Valley big tech companies. So again, because of the low tuition fees, co-op programs and big tech offers, students end up completing their masters with very little debt or even no debt at all, or they are able to pay off the debt within a year of their master's program. And remember, at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you how these students waive off their entire tuition fees, including Purdue University as well. Now, number 2 university is San Jose State University. You've probably heard about this university. It is located in heart of Silicon Valley. I've been there, spoken to the students, done podcasts with many of them, and all of them have extremely good things to say. Now, tuition fees is going to be anywhere from $38,000 to $45,000. But cost of living can be slightly higher depending on your preferences. I've seen where there are more than 4 to 5 people in one apartment. So if you end up doing that, then your cost of living will be anywhere from $800 to $1,500. But again, if you prefer privacy, then it could go higher, like almost $2,000. Alright, in terms of job market, again, like I said, 10 minutes to Google campus, 10 minutes to Zoom headquarters, Adobe, Samsung, Apple, you name it, and all big tech companies are there, and all of them have hired students from San Jose State University. Not just big tech companies, but also a lot of AI startups are popping up in Silicon Valley. Of course, that is where the AI startup and AI boom is going on right now. So even students are getting into smaller startups and AI ecosystem much faster than any other university. But I do want to say that not everyone is going to end up getting a job, because it is a tough market and not everyone is going to have the same ambition. So I'll leave it there, and you should watch the full detailed podcast where students have revealed the dark realities of studying in San Jose State and the best part about studying at San Jose State University. Okay, San Jose State is mainly known for its computer science and software engineering program, but I've also heard students getting job offers from VLSI industry, which is Qualcomm, Intel, and even cybersecurity. So computer engineering and electrical engineering is also something that students do pursue in this university. And talking about on-campus job, it is very competitive. So it is not guaranteed that you will end up having an on-campus job in the first semester unless you apply the strategies that I teach in my accelerator program. By the way, I do have a study in USA accelerator program. It is currently in waitlist. So if you are interested, fill out the form and I'll reach out to you once the program is ready. But regardless, students do end up getting on-campus job on second or third semester, but that is the on-campus job market. Alright, moving on to number 3, which is Texas A&M University. Again, it's a classic. I think everybody probably knows about this as well. Tuition fees is anywhere between $45,000 to $50,000. The cost of living is similar, $800 to $1,500, slightly on the lower end, but depending on your lifestyle, it can be anywhere from $800 to $1,500. I've mainly done podcasts with students from computer science background, and again, I've heard students getting into big tech companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon. But I've also heard that it is also known for supply chain and industrial industry and data analysis as well. When it comes to on-campus job, again, it is slightly more competitive, but people do end up getting on-campus job in first semester if you apply the right strategy. Fourth one is Georgia Tech. Now, this one is one of the best universities for computer science and cybersecurity programs. Again, it is known for other programs as well, but computer science and cybersecurity is where I've seen most of the students usually succeed, end up getting jobs in Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, you name it, and any big tech companies will be there. Tuition fees is anywhere between $45,000 to $50,000. It is well known for its brand. Also the location, it is in Atlanta, so slightly higher. So the cost of living might be on the higher end of the spectrum, which is $800 to $1,500. Sometimes it can even go to $2,000. It is known for its hackathons and cybersecurity competitions. And when it comes to on-campus job, people do end up getting on-campus job even in the first semester. And a lot of students actually end up getting jobs like TA and RA. And I'll talk more about why people target those jobs at the end of the video, because remember, I told you, a lot of students want to waive off their entire tuition fees, and that is one of the ways. So make sure to keep watching until the end of the video. Fifth one is probably the most underrated one and probably most unheard of, which is Oklahoma State University. Yes, and I've actually done podcasts with a couple of students from that university who've done their entire masters for free, and again, I'll share that at the end of the video. But the fees is going to be anywhere from $38,000 to $45,000. Cost of living is going to be much cheaper, below $1,000 per month. In terms of job hunting, students do end up getting in the mid-sized company and startups and a lot of industrial companies as well, like a supply chain based company. Now, I do know that there are people who end up getting in the big tech as well, like Amazon is something that you will see people working for, and some rare exceptions do get up in like Google and Microsoft, but I've mainly seen mid-sized companies. But the reason I included in this list is because of the low tuition fees, of course, and it has a high ROI, especially the programs that I'm going to talk about end of this segment. You will see that a lot of people end up getting tuition fee waivers. That is why I wanted to include this in terms of high ROI university. But what it is also good known for is good student to faculty ratio. Every faculty probably will know you by your name. They have a very good international student department where they go above and beyond to support you in your journey. I think it's important and it's underrated. People don't pay attention to these things. Now, they are known for business analytics, supply chain, industrial, and electrical engineering. And I know not a lot of my audience is from MBA programs, but it does have a very good MBA program as well. Moving on to sixth one, which is going to be Virginia Tech University. Now we are moving in the $50,000 bracket, slightly up. This one is going to be anywhere from $50,000 to $55,000. So it's higher than what I would prefer, but it still has a lot of good ROI. Virginia Tech is also in one of the most desirable areas to live in United States, especially Arlington, Virginia is also something that, always gets in top 10 cities to live in United States. Not saying that's where Virginia Tech is, but again, you can look this up. Cost of living is going to be slightly on the higher end because of the same reasons like I mentioned. Anywhere from $800 to $1,800. Again, depends on your lifestyle. If you end up sharing, it might be on the lower end of the spectrum. When it comes to on-campus job, people do end up getting on-campus job, and in fact, people also end up getting RAs and TAs, which we'll talk about at the end of the video. When it comes to programs, it is mainly known for computer science and cybersecurity program. Because it's Virginia Tech, I think a lot of companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon hire from it. But surprisingly, also a lot of like fintech company like Bank of America, Capital One, Goldman Sachs, they also have something called cybersecurity bootcamp like IBM, Booz Allen Hamilton. A lot of them also hire from Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech and Georgia Tech has the strong alumni bond as well. Hence, it is low fees and high ROI. Seventh one on the list is North Carolina State University, also called as NC State. It is again in that $50,000 to $55,000 bucket. That is what the fees is going to be, similar to Virginia Tech. Cost of living is going to be lower than $1,000 per month. Now, it is known for three main programs: computer engineering, industrial engineering, and supply chain. On-campus job is not super competitive, so people do end up getting on-campus job if they apply the right strategy from the very get-go of once they receive their admit letter, which is what I teach. Again, in my Study in USA Accelerator, make sure to join the wait list. Now, NC State actually has wide spectrum when it comes to jobs and people getting jobs. So it's not like a lot of people end up getting in one area or one industry. I have actually done podcasts with NC State students who have gotten into Google, and Akhil is the name of the guy, and that was my first podcast that actually blew up on YouTube as well. But I've also seen people in like General Electronics, Schneider Electric, Siemens, Honeywell, Volvo Group. As you know, these are some of the known industrial and supply chain companies. But again, there is also big tech as well. I've seen Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon as well. So that's why it's very widespread. So in a way that you can use and leverage alumni from different industries and sector, which is kind of cool. All right, last one in my list is going to be UIC, which is University of Illinois Chicago. I was actually there 3 years ago, and I was blown away by the campus. You can actually see that in my vlog, and I met some of the students, and I actually had a meetup as well. And the cost is going to be again in that slightly over 50,000. But again, this can depend. Some students end up doing their masters in less than in 3 semesters, so your cost can go lower than 50,000, or it can be $50,000 to $55,000. It is in heart of Chicago, so you get access to fintech companies, supply chain, industrial companies, tech companies, even airline companies are over there. So Chicago is also where my company's headquarters is also there. So I have a special place for Chicago in my heart. It is also a place where it's not super safe. But of course, you have to know your areas, and there are safeties for students. So make sure that you surround yourself with seniors who know where you need to go and all of it. It is mainly known for its engineering program. So computer science is what it is mainly known for. But I've also heard students going into computer engineering and electrical engineering, and they do end up getting the VLSI jobs as well. And also some students have actually gone into cybersecurity as well, because again, like I said, there are companies like Capital One, Goldman Sachs, so and fintech has big need for cybersecurity, so people do end up getting jobs from UIC in the cybersecurity companies. But when it comes to job offers, I have seen people getting in Nordstrom, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Cisco, Deloitte. If you see the vlog, which was shot 3 years ago, they said like almost 90% of the people end up getting full-time job offer. So that was pretty cool. Of course, market was completely different 3 years ago, and right now it's completely different. So you shouldn't go from that vlog, but it just says that how a lot of people will end up getting in the big tech companies, Qualcomm, Salesforce, VMware, which is again in the computer engineering side of the things. And that is what brings me to my final point, where how the heck these students are able to waive off their entire tuition fees. So they are doing something called TA or RA, which is teaching assistant or research assistant. This is an on-campus job that you end up working for a professor, under a professor, whether you are helping them with teaching a class or labs, or you're helping a professor with their research. Because you're doing that, you are eligible to waive off your entire tuition fees as one of the benefit that you get because you're doing one of that job. In the entire list, I think there's only one university that might not be doing this, which is San Jose State University, because it's a state university. Rest all of them have entire tuition fees waive off. But again, it depends on the program. Like Purdue MEM does not have entire tuition fee waive off, but they do have something called entire year of co-op program. So it's slightly dependent, but all of them do have something like entire tuition fees waive off. And in fact, I've done podcast with almost all of these universities where they have said that how they got their entire tuition fees waived off. Because they are doing jobs, their tuition fees gets waived off. They may have to pay health insurance, but sometimes you even get your entire health insurance fees waived off. And you will end up getting stipend per month for $1,500 to even $2,500 I've seen. We've talked about cost of living, it's always been lower than $1,500. So you're like potentially saving money. You don't have any tuition fees. You are saving money just by doing on-campus job 20 hours a week. And because all of these have high ROI, you also end up getting into big tech companies during your internships or co-ops. So you also end up making more money during that time. So that's how they end up graduating debt-free or with very little debt, and they pay off within a year. Okay, now I know I made this global list of like 8 universities which has low fees and high ROI, but you might want something for your specific program. So let me know if that is something that you are interested, that hey Yudi, can you make the same list or similar list for computer science or industrial engineering or supply chain or engineering management, whatever program that you are interested in, please let me know in the comment section. Also, like I said, I have launched Study in USA Accelerator. It is in the wait list right now. We have too many people interested in this, so we are trying to figure out how do we accommodate it and what is the detail of this program as well. So please take a look at the description and just join the wait list. So as soon as the program is ready, you will be the first one to know the details of it. And let me know in the comment section which programs you are interested for the list, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep smiling, keep hustling. You gotta hustle every single day.